Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Wake up, all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it now, just you and me. Wake up, all the doctors, make the old people well. They're the ones who suffer and who catch all the hair. But they don't have so very long before their judgment day. So won't you make them happy before they pass away? Wake up, all the builders, time to build a new land. I know we could do it if we all lend a hand. The only thing we have to do is put it in our minds. Surely things will work out, they do it every time. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na, 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 na. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it now, just you and me. Yeah. Change it, yeah, change it, yeah, just you and me. Change it, yeah, change it. Can't do it alone, can't do it alone. Need some help, y'all, y'all. Can't do it alone, can't do it alone. Yeah, yeah. Wake up, everybody. Wake up, everybody. Need a little help, y'all. Yes, I do. Need a little help. Say it, boy. Need some help, y'all. Change the world, what it used to be. Yeah.
Need some help, y'all.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Darryl Hairston Crime Victim Foundation radio show. Once again, here's another Friday. I thank you for checking in with us, tuning in with us at this time. We appreciate your support and your love towards everything that we're trying to do here about bringing awareness and changes. I am Darryl Hairston the first with my co-host,
Rod Willis.
my second co-host,
Jacqueline Key.
and my third co-host.
Tina Hairston.
You can never have too many co-hosts, and I appreciate all of them standing here with me. We had a great show today. We're going to talk about runaway kids, missing children. I have a speaker here, Dana White Stevenson. You know, her daughter had been running away, and as her daughter was running away and she was seeing things that was going on, it brought her to missing children, and she has a great story for you. Also, I got a wonderful artist out here today, Toga, doing work. Toga doing work. Yeah, I told him I didn't want to tear his name up. We got Toga doing work here. Like I said, we got a great and awesome show today. Also, I want you to understand that my show is brought about the loss of me losing my son. And as I lost my son, I promised him that I will never let his killing go in vain. And I'm bringing awareness to you, all you out there. There's many out there that's suffering due to loss of children and child in your life. I'm here to support you. I'm here to be your voice. So let me tell you what Darryl Hairston Crime Victim Foundation show about.
Darryl Hairston Crime Victims Foundation show where we highlight life heroes and sheroes throughout the
Hello,
DMV
Yolanda.
and the
How you
nation
doing today?
as they turn tragedy
Shabelle.
into triumph,
Hey,
pain into
sis-
purpose,
sissy.
and test
Good to
into
see you coming in
testimony
today.
to
Thank
serve,
you.
help, bless, and make a difference in their world and now ours.
Yes, that's what it's all about, zeros and heroes. We want to bring awareness to all this. Also, I want everybody to know that my sponsor is Soul Wings. Soul Wings Authentic Soul Food Restaurant located at downtown at 13th and F Street, Northwest, inside of the National Press Building. Go down there and check that soul food out. He's a great sponsor. Without him, it wouldn't have been no Darryl Hairston Crime Victim Foundation show, so I thank you. Also, my second sponsor that I have is Star Imports.
Star Imports is the home of the boutique style buying experience. Star Imports, Adele Motors, has 50 years in the automotive industry. Star Imports is in Camp Springs, right off Branch Avenue behind the Red Lobster. Star Imports provides the personal attention you deserve and treats you with the utmost respect. Bad credit, no problem. We have credit restoration programs to help you. Credit application is on www.starimports.com. Star Imports does bank in-house financing and buy here, pay here. The vehicle you want, not in inventory, no problem. We specialize in finding your perfect car. Star Imports donates a portion of its sales in giving back to the D.C., Maryland, and Virginia area charities, such as D.C. STEM Network, National Museum of African American History and Culture, and Girls in Company, to help develop kids into becoming successful contributors to society and to help support institutions that preserve history.
Thank you, Tina, for so them are my sponsors. Before I go into a break, I wanted to bring some things up. A couple of shows back, I had a grandmother on here named Felicia Cook, talking about her grandson, Marty McMillan, that had been missing. And if you probably have seen the news, they found him. So pray for the Cook family, lift them up. You know, that's just a lot to be carrying when you lose a child, especially the way that they did him, and Miss Cook did everything in her power. As she said, she's a grandmother on fire, and she did everything in her power to bring notice and attention to her grandson being missing, but the police didn't do what they're supposed to do. And I'm heartbroken for the Cook family and the McMillan family that this went down the way it did over meeting someone on dating sites. So I advise you, as you look up, watch these dating sites. Stay off of them. I mean, why do you want to go meet somebody that you never met before over some words that y'all going back and forward? There's no chemistry in that. There's nothing in that you feel like, yeah, he may be the one. This is not right, and I pray for justice for Marty McMillan. And I want everybody out there to continue to pray that justice come to the Cook family, that she will have closure. And I want to continue for her to fight forward because others out there need to hear her story. Right. And we'll have her back here. So, Ms. Cook, this one is out to you today. We dedicate our show to you today. And we thank you so much that you found the time to come on Darryl Hairston Crime Victim Foundation show to tell your story. So I'm praying for you and your family that God embrace you and keep you. So at this time, we're going to go to a break. And when we come back, we'll have our new segment on running away kids.
Sometimes pretend to be your friend. Smiling faces show no traces of the evil that lurks within. Smiling faces, sometimes they don't tell the truth. Smiling faces tell lies, and I got proof. Oh Lord, yeah. sometimes. Hey, they don't tell the truth. Smiling faces tell lies, and I got proof.
Beware of the handshake, they have the snake.
I'm telling you, beware of the pat on the back. It just might hold you back. Jealousy, misery, envy. I tell you, you can't see behind smiling faces sometimes. Hey, they don't tell the truth. Smiling faces tell lies, and I got
Welcome back to the Darryl Hairston Crime Victim Foundation radio show. And as I said today, we're going to be talking about runaway children. You know, you got those who just run away, and then you have those that's missing. So we want to discuss about runaway kids today. You know, what is the status out there about them returning home? Some don't return home. Some get caught up into human trafficking because they upset because something happened at home and they run away in order to hurt mom and dad and then find themselves getting caught up and hurt. So with my news segment on Running Away, Rod, let's discuss the statistic that you have found out about runaway children.
These statistics are staggering, but it's important to have some kind of analysis between the statistics because there's a cross-breeding meshing between runaways, sexual trafficking, and missing.
Mm-hmm.
According to the Justice Department, there are about 1.6 and 2.8 million youth run away from home every year. And a lot of this is related to homelessness. And there are statistics that indicate, and I was just sharing it with my co-host here, that in many cases, 47% of runaways homelessness was indicated. And they, in many cases, over 70% of the runaways were throwaway youth. Now, what's a throwaway youth? Throwaway youth is a person who's always in detention, had a little problem with criminal justice system, and the parents have sort of given up on them. Sometimes they've been passed on to grandparents, and the grandmamas, it's always a mother, grandmother, throwing up her hands. I can't do nothing with this child. Will you please come get him? And sometimes they lock them out. You know, you're not going to do these drugs in the house, so they run away. So 80% of runaways and homeless girls are reportedly being sexually abused or physically abused.
Hold on, Rod, not to cut you, but you said 80%?
80% of runaways.
So 80%
and
of
homeless
runaways,
girls
and then you got a
have-
book of
have-
100%.
have been sexually abused and physically abused. So that's staggering. And there's another statistic that's out here that says at least 50% of the runaway girls have been involved in what they call survival sex. Now let's examine what is survival sex. Survival sex is you in the same house with a man who's Uncle Joe or a friend, cousin, nephew, sometimes father, and you have been forced to have sex with them repeatedly, sometimes for years, just to survive and stay in that house. And at some point, some of these girls say, I've had enough, I'm gone, I'm out. And that is the segue, because some of them have been active sexually so early, they get into sex trafficking and prostitution.
Yeah, wow, that is truly very deep there. I mean, to hear what a young girl, even a young man may have to go through in life, and that's what caused them to run away from home. They're not considered missing, but they ran away.
47% of runaway homeless youth indicate conflicts between them and the parents or guardian was the primary problem. Running away from home multiple times decreases the likelihood of a child finishing high school. So as you look at the poverty index, once a kid has run away, they stop school, what's the next stop? stop school, no education, poverty. Poverty means I got to do what I got to do. Crime,
Survive.
drugs, prostitution, on and on and on. Some of these girls are 20. They say, well, she's grown. Well, really?
True.
20,
No.
19, 18, 16, 13. So what was stated earlier in terms of the grandmother that was looking for her children, we have to be ever vigilant to keep our children off these sites. These sites are predatory in nature. They're alluring young girls and telling them they can be Hollywood movie stars, Halle Berry overnight. It ain't happening. And everybody sees this stuff on TV and they want it. And if the conditions are ripe at home and unstable, your girl, especially a girl, might be gone. There's an appetite out here also for young boys. So we have to be careful and cautious and monitor our children. The statistics are just staggering.
And just like Mr. Willis, he asked me to relate this. My granddaughter, her ambition is to be a movie star. And she went on a site and somebody invited her out to Atlanta. Well, my son is a retired police. And he had to sit down and explain to her, it's people out there way better than you. They done spent money on acting school. So why would that guy just want you to come and meet him somewhere? So a lot of it too also is ambition. And I used to be a social worker. Some parents, Miss Cooper? White, I'm sorry. She's probably a hard-working mother. I know I was a single mother for one time. I was working 3 jobs. But they always try to relay it back to the parent, but somehow, and to make it short, I blame the system. Because I sat in a court case where the stepfather was abusing the girl. They took the girl, but they left the other 3.
Hello.
So then also, I think even though, it's the system that make our kids who they are. Because I'm going to beat mine. You can lock me, all us going to be in jail. You can't talk to them. You can't say anything. Because the system protect them. Like 16 and PG. My girlfriend's son decided to drop out of school and went with her mother, and they made my girlfriend pay child support. So I just want to relay that. Don't always look at the parent as being a bad parent.
Right.
And one of the things that we always have to remember, I look at you, your son was a police officer, stable house, smart girl.
Yeah.
The predators are out there. And so when they do the numbers game, your granddaughter was no different from anybody else.
Nope.
If you put it out there, somebody is going to be vulnerable and listen. And she just randomly happened to be 20. But what about the other 100 or 200 girls that didn't have a father to intervene? They probably went in Atlanta, and some of them are probably never seen again.
Right, and my son said, where you going to stay? How you going to get there? Where's the money? Show me all of this, and I'll let you go. She couldn't show it to him.
Well, I mean, that's, a lot of what we're talking about here. Bringing awareness, like people talk about the kids. We spoke about how the danger is in the house because you got a computer. And if you're not monitoring that child computer,
That's right.
you're not seeing what's going on and what that child is getting into. So that's why I say I have a speaker here today about runaway children, about missing children, that we can bring awareness to this out there because there's someone out there that may be going through this. So we always want to make sure that we can reach you through our show to give awareness to this so you can know what's going on, who to contact.
Now, can I interject something? There are tons of statistics we can bounce back and forth. Homeless shelters are a big getaway, jump-off point for runaways because a lot of people, a lot of girls and boys in homeless shelters are sexually abused. So they're running away from homeless shelters. So we have to be vigilant to have people in social services monitor what goes on in those shelters because they lock the doors at a certain time at night and you can't go, nobody in, nobody out till 7 o'clock in the morning when they put you out on the street. And you're a captive to these people. So you got to monitor who's monitoring the children in these homeless shelters.
Thank you, Rod. That was excellent. So at this time, we getting ready to go to the break. And as we come back to the break, I will have my artist to come up, and he will introduce himself. Toga doing work. Toga doing work. When we come back from the break, we're gonna have Toga doing work, singing and doing one of his songs.
Come on, come on. All right, y'all. I testified, my mama cried. Black people died when the other man lied. See the TV, listen to me, double trouble. I overhaul and I'm coming from the lower level. I'm taking tabs, showing up, stuff the grab like shirts and it hurts. With a neck direct to the pole, cause our soul took the toll from the education of a TV station. But look around, here go the sound of the record ball, boom and pound. When I shut them down, I shut them down. Shut them down, shut them down. I shut them down. Shut them down, shut them down. I shut them down. Shut them down, shut them down. I shut them down. Shut them down, shut them down. I shut them down. Shut them down, shut them down. I shut them down. Shut them down, shut them down. I shut them down. Shut them down, shut them down. I shut them down. Shut them down, shut them down. Come on. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What I use in a battle for the mind. Hit it hard like it's supposed. Pulling no blows to the nose like Uncle L said I'm ripping up stones. Being what it is only 5% of the bands I'm adding woes. That's the way it goes. See you fake, I rank, I never drank, point blank, I own loans. Suckers got me running from the bank. Civil liberty, I can't see the pay fee. I never saw a way to pass that to read the law. Then become a victim of a lawyer. Don't know you never saw it, tape cues. Getting me sued, playing games with my head. What the judge said, put me in the red. Got me thinking about a trigger to the lead. No, my educated mind say suckers gonna pay anyway. There's gonna be a day for the truth they roll in. I posse up, hold from the ground, ready to go. Throw another round, pick up a ride and suicide for the other side of town. When I find a way to shut them down, I shut them down. Shut them down, shut them down. I shut them down. Shut them down, shut them down. I shut them down. Shut them down, shut them down. I shut them down. Shut them down, shut them down. I shut them down. Shut them down, shut them down. I shut them down. Shut them down, shut them down. I shut them down.
Hell yeah. Welcome back to the Darryl Hairston Crime Victim Foundation radio show. Wow. Like I said, right now we have a great artist that we're bringing out, and I want you to introduce yourself to my fans and people out there.
What's going on, y'all? It's Toga doing work.
Toga doing work, y'all. Toga doing work.
How y'all doing today?
So we hoping he's gonna do some work today, y'all. We hoping that he get your attention, that you like the song that he sing, and then later on after the second time to come back, we'll let you find out where you get his music from.
And you get the message.
Get the message.
Not you, the ones you're singing to.
Yeah. Hey. Hey. Gotta get it. When I hop out the bed, gotta get it. Whoa. Man, I hopped out the bed knowing that I'm finna get it. Good morning, I got a check to get that important. I made it through the night, another day I get the lead. Good morning, you know I'm thanking God I'm blessed. Hey, man, I hopped out the bed knowing that I'm finna get it. Good morning, I got a check to get that important. I made it through the night, another day I get the lead. Good morning, you know I'm thanking God I'm blessed. Man, I'm blessed, riding in my whip, and I got a full tank of gas up in that thing. And the sky is blue, man, that mean I can see right. 20/20 vision, I'm so focused on the mission. Repetition is just me again myself. No competing here, no, ain't no need to compare. I can hear the chirping, but to me, it's just noise. It like everybody talking, but don't listen at the problem. So we choose to listen to what's gonna make my life better. Valuing my time only equal more cheddar. Value in designer only got the girls with her. And value in the girl gon' make you broke head up. Nothing promised to me, so I gotta make the right move. Because the wrong move could be my last. So what I do is focus on the things bringing purpose to my life. I ain't never, I'm just glad I got it right. Man, I hopped out the bed knowing that I'm finna get it. Good morning, I got a check to get that thing important. I made it through the night, another day I get to live. You know I'm thanking God I'm blessed. I hopped out the bed knowing that I'm finna get it. Good morning, I got a check to get that thing important. I made it through the night, another day I get to live. You know I'm thanking God I'm blessed for real. Man, I hopped out the bed knowing that I'm finna get it. Good morning, the possibilities I be exploring. I'm blessed I get to live out how I feel. This not for appeal, man, I keep it real out in the field. Man, I'm tryna get her out my way. I can't hang around no broke hitters or no fake. I ain't going out today, hitter, it was set in stone. I was born to evade haters, motivate players to be boss. I'm a boss player, formulating plans while I'm riding on the interstate. Never take a break, where my mind gotta cultivate. Then I escalate in the form of an action. I'm not just rapping, I dream about it, then gon' make it happen. Appreciating all the blessings that you giving me. Some people out here got it worse, that could've been me. Don't take for granted what it is that you got, cause you got a lot to somebody else who do not. Man, I hopped out the bed knowing that I'm finna get it. Good morning, I got a check to get that thing important. I made it through the night, another day I get to live. You know I'm thanking God I'm blessed. Hey, I hopped out the bed knowing that I'm finna get it. Good morning, I got a check to get that thing important. I made it through the night, another day I get to live. You know I'm thanking God I'm blessed for real, yeah. Hey, I'm blessed for real, yeah. You know I'm thanking God I'm blessed for real, yeah. Hey, I'm blessed for real, yeah. Man, you know I'm thanking God, man, I gotta go and get it. Man, I gotta go and get it. Man, I gotta go and get it. Man, I gotta get that check, hey. Man, I gotta get that check, hey. Man, I'm going for that check, hey. Man, I gotta get that check, hey. Man, I'm going for that check, hey. And I need all my respect, hey. Yeah. Good morning, I got a check to get that thing important, yeah. Hey, I gotta get it, yeah. Hey. Whoa. Thank y'all.
All right.
Now, was you saying I gotta go get a check?
Yeah.
All right, tell
Gotta
my
get a
grandson.
check.
All right, y'all heard that there. We gotta get up in the morning, go get it.
Go get that
We
check.
gotta go get it, y'all. We gotta go get it. We want to thank you.
For real.
And he'll be back. So, like I said, great song, you know, with a great message in it. We appreciate it. You know, like I said, once again, our show is about runaways today. We speaking on runaway children and missing children today. So right now, we getting ready to go to a break. When I come back from my break, we will bring my guest speaker up, Dana White Stevenson, who does missing children and runaway children. So prepare for a great story that she has. You know, understand that this is her life story. This is the changes in her life that she must go through. So she takes what she has and prepare it, bring awareness to others. So we'll be back on the Darryl Hairston Crime Victim Foundation Radio. You all right over there?
Can't explain what I'm going through, and I wonder if you're feeling it too, like I do. You know my mind is in a haze. It's all because of you, my darling. Surely as the day is long, there's no way this love could ever be wrong. Growing strong. So won't you listen, girl, while I sing out this song. Here is my heart, here is my song. Take what you want, baby, don't ever let go. For everything that I do it for can't find the right words to say how I love you in 1,000 ways, night and day. 'Cause in my heart and in my head, you know you're always gonna stay, my darling. Once I was lost, but now I am found. Girl, you're putting my feet right back on the ground. Turn my life around. Oh, baby, can't you hear what I'm telling you now? Here is my heart. Here is my heart. Here is my soul. Here is my soul. You won't take what you want, girl. Never let go. For everything that I do, I do it for the love of you. Here is my heart. Here is my soul. My soul is yours. Take what you want. Take what you want. Never let go. For everything that I do, baby, I do it for the love of you. Do it for the love of you. Baby. Once in a lifetime, gonna find the special one. Look twice and love will pass you by. Like a river, just like a river, gotta flow to the sea. You can be sure when you look in my eyes. Here is my soul. Here is my soul. Take what you want. Never let go. Every little thing that I do, yeah, I do it for the love of you. Here is my heart, baby. Here is my soul, your love. Take what you want, girl. Never let go. Every little thing I do for you. I do it for love, do it for love, do it for love. Hey, my heart, here is my soul, here is my soul. Take what you want, baby, don't never let go. For everything that I do it for the love of.
Welcome back to the Darryl Hairston Crime Victim Foundation Talk Radio. Like I say, right now I'm getting ready to bring a young lady up due to her circumstances and situations in her life of her daughter running away. She came out to tell us her story. So right now I'm bringing the mic over to Dana White Stevenson. So Dana White Stevenson, thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My daughter, Dayana White,
Can you talk up some, please?
yes. My daughter, Dayana White, started running away, and March will make 2 years. The first time she was doing it, I didn't understand or didn't know where she was at. Wasn't able to locate her. As time go on, I started being nosy in her inbox, Instagram, spying on her friends, and started figuring out she was hanging with children and their parents was allowing her to be in their home without contacting an adult. After it went on, this year, March of 2017, I decided to start doing DC Missing Kids and Children's because I started feeling like something needs to be done. If I don't step up and we don't step up as a community, then who else going to help our children? And these are all of our kids. In the process, I found a law. Well, the law is abating and abling a minor, which means the child underneath 18 being in your home is not allowed without contacting an adult, the police, or child and family services. But the whole 2 years, this is what's going on with Dayana. As the time went on, I started researching, and I started learning, it's more kids. It wasn't just Dayana. I started getting her tested with psychological evaluations, thinking maybe it was mentally, I started analyzing my home. I let her go stay with her godmother. She ran from there. So I was like, okay, it's not my house. I pensed her through the PENS program, which is a program in D.C. that's supposed to help through D.C. court system.
Okay.
Bull crap. They more support the kids than they do the families, and that's the problem. That's why I feel like it's more of a community needs to step up. If you see the child next door, call and say something. If you see the child walking down the street, dial 911 and say, I see this missing person. It was on a flyer. They right here, and give a description of what they have on, and maybe it wouldn't be so bad. If we start doing that, then the ones that are missing, we are able to locate them or put more work into trying to find them. So that's just my main thing, and my concern what's going on with DC court system. I had went to court with Dayana Wednesday, and the judge asked me, do you want her to go home? It's not that I don't want her home. Is it when I go to sleep, is she going to walk out the door to go hang out with her friends? Is when I wake up, is she still going to be in the house where I left her at? That's my main concern, But they don't understand that because it's not their kids. They don't have to deal with this. They can sleep at night. They don't have to worry about when the phone rings, is it the police because you got to come and identify your child? Right. Or is the knock at the door the homicide because you got to come and identify your child? They don't have to deal with that. Right. We do. And if we don't step up as a community, black, white, purple, green, orange, it doesn't matter what color it is. If you don't step up, then the problem is going to keep on, keep going on. And it's going to be a problem. It's already a big problem. It's already out of hand.
Can I say something? When you said that it's against the law for adults to harbor a child, I had a situation like that, and I report the kids. I said, I know they're supposed to be in school. They got backpacks. They here every day. They there every day. I was told, call Child Protection Agent. I called Child Protection Agent. They told me, go knock on the door and get the names and the age. Like, I'm going to go over there and get the name and the age. And, I mean, some of the kids was like 3-year-olds was taking care of new babies. Oh, Lord. And nothing. It took 10 years. I had to go to the state's attorney. It took me 10 years. But finally, I went to the state's attorney in the I said, look, I have had enough. I said, somebody have to do something.
Exactly.
But that, like you said, it's not their child. And when we put our 2 cents, we jeopardizing ourselves. I had my windows broken, because sometimes when they come, they'll say, well, Miss X called the police on you.
And they're not supposed to do that.
Right, and they do that. I heard them, and I said, I was in the window. So I agree with you. We have to, as a parent, or I was taught it takes a village to raise a child.
Exactly.
We have to get up there and step out there. I mean, some people are afraid or don't want to be involved. They'll call me, drop letters in my mailbox, but they don't want to get involved.
But DC have anonymous numbers. And some people, they lost sight of DC police, which in some ways I understand because of so many cases they can't resolve. So I understand that. But they do have an anonymous number. An anonymous number, you don't call and say, hey, my name is Dana White Stevenson. Dayana's right here at apartment 201. You could call and say, hey, I seen the missing child. She's right here in apartment 201. And that's it, and that's all.
I agree with you. But if they know you're the one doing this program and you're the one fighting, like I was told, they're going to automatically say it was you.
Oh, yeah. True, and I get that, which I'm okay. Like, my daughter be like, Mom, you the one that got me locked up. Yeah, I am, but she don't never know that. I always sit back. I see her when she's out there, and every time she went, it's 8 times I did a missing person report. And every 8 times I found my daughter. Or I call my teammate and be like, hey, Dayana's right here. I'm going to pull off. And he'll pull up and watch her. And then we call the police. It takes them a while. You know, so sometimes they walk off, which we got to get them to understand. They have to be more accurate when we call. They need to be more faster. And maybe they need to get maybe 5 officers just for that, for when people call about missing and runaways. But I mean, it's a process. I know that. Dayana ran away December the 20th. It took us 19 days to find her. If it wasn't for me constantly sharing her flyer and, you know, just constantly being specific about it, the young lady at my kid's school, I don't know her. She really didn't know me, inboxed me and was like, hey, Dayana's on the A6. She has on, and the young girl with her has on, well, the Helly Handsome coat that I gave the description to the police is Dayana's coat, which her friend had on, and Dayana had on her friend coat. So the whole time she's walking past the police, they not thinking that this is her because she don't have on what I told them she has on. So once she got around 3rd and got off the bus, my team was able to be right there to be able to get her, but it still took the officers 30 minutes when we said it's a missing child. It's a report, gave them a report number. It's a missing child. Well, can you talk to the officers when you pull up? That's not the job of us to do when you see a missing child, but that's what they ask. Then the first thing they ask when you do a report, well, why did they go missing? We don't know as parents. We don't have no idea. Well, do you know where she's at? Well, if we did, we wouldn't need your assistance. You know, we would be able to go get them.
So, Dana, explain to my audience, like you said, one part, like when you talk about the kids' family at Harlem, that you went through, what you went through with some lady was keeping your daughter.
Yes. They were staying at the Howard Johnson on New York Avenue. We all know that's a hotel for the homeless and prostitutes, drugs, whatever else that goes on there. And Dayana was gone for a month. And when we went to on whatever that police station in Northeast, and I asked Dayana, where was you at? And she told me. And I said, well, why was you there? And the officer, she was sitting right there with us. And Dayana said, well, the father was giving me $100 a week. To do what? Why? When I looked at the officer, her response wasn't quicker for me by her being an officer. So I was like, what y'all about to do? Well, it's nothing. You could do a stay away order. I did that. Dayana ended up going right back over there. And constantly hanging around this same people, this same little girl, this same little girl. This is how she was able to dodge the streets, in and out. This little girl mother don't report her. When we moved where we live at now in 2016, Dayana met this young girl. And once she met that young girl, it's just been haywire ever since then. When Dayana's not in contact with this young girl, she's home. She go to school. She's smart. She knows sign language. She can draw. She had the Duke Ellis Center Arts wanted her for her first 9th grade year. With her missing, she couldn't go because we couldn't do orientation. I didn't know where she was at. So that was something gone down the drain. Her art, she's very intelligent. She can miss a month and get back into school and bring those F's and C's up to A's and B's. You know, so she had potential. My main thing is one day she go out there and she never returned. That's what I'm scared of. And the courts don't understand that. When we stand there and try to explain to them, they don't see that. They don't want to hear that because it's, once again, it ain't their children. They don't have nothing to do with that. And I've been fighting them 2 years. I go to court on the 17th again. So it's, I mean, like, when is it going to stop? When is the community going to stand up and start saying something? It's not snitching. It's saving a life. You know, right. If we beat them, y'all going to call CPS. You see what I'm saying? So why not, if you see them going to somebody's house, because you don't know, my daughter can be smoking, drinking. I don't know what they doing behind them people closed doors. You know, so say something. Call me. You don't necessarily have to call the police. Call me. Hey, Dayana's right here, you know. But some of them don't.
So what made you start doing your Missing Children foundation? And what is the name of it? Let the people know what the name is.
DC Missing Kids and Children. I started this in April of 2017. Dayana was missing, and my best friend, Takesha Page, had got murdered by her boyfriend. We couldn't find her, you know, and putting out our flyer and going in his building and, you know, finding out information that he did kill her and took her out on a dolly and threw her in a dumpster. I just felt like it's my daughter and my best friend. My daughter and my best friend. What do I need to do? So I signed up for criminal justice classes online because I need to know, what do they see that we're not seeing? What do I need to know to how to help my child, the kids underneath of my daughter, and everybody else's kids? You know, it just took me. It just took me not knowing where Dayana at and my best friend. It was like my whole world was just like snatched underneath of me.
I understand.
So I want to ask you this. Like I said, I was a social worker. And on the weekend, we had this thing called juvenile justice. And we would have the parent and the child to come to a workshop. However, the government felt fit to take the money. And that way, we mediate with the child and the parent. Like I said, it's not always the parent. It's the, even though it's the child, but the court don't give us that respect. They protect the child more than the parent. The parent is the mean one.
Yes. Yes. And that's how they do. Is when I say, what happened to the lawyer for the parents?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we need to be represented because they're taking us through stuff. You know what I'm saying? Running the streets. We don't know where they're at. We don't know why they're doing this. You know, the POs, instead of asking the child, well, what do you want? How about you ask the parent and the child?
Yeah.
You know, what can we do to assist y'all? Well, they have Dayana going through Barge. They go when they want to go. They can do what they want to do because it's not strict. Dayana took the little ankle, I call it jewelry, but it's the ankle monitor little thing. She took it off twice. She done nothing. She done ran out the shelter house 4 times. You know, so when are y'all going to understand? When I got to bury her? You know, or she killed somebody? She got charges in Montgomery County. You know, while she was out there running. You know, so they got to survive. They got to take care of themselves. So while they're out there running, these people are getting hurt. They're getting robbed. They taking cell phones. They taking money from people. They going and reading mall throwing flash theft, snatching clothes and just running out the mall and that type of stuff. And y'all don't see that this is a problem? It's just crazy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it sounds very devastating for someone to, you know, have to go through that. Like I said, everybody has a different story. You know, mine is I lost my son due to, you know, gun violence. So, you know, everybody has something different that they're dealing with every day. And I can understand how you feel about, you know, your child being missing, you know what I'm saying, or going out. And, you know, there's always peer pressure. There's always another kid in the bunch. I mean, 'cause we was kids, we grew up. We had, you know, when we grew up, we had parents that friends that we home with parents look at us like we're the one that's leading their kids.
That parent and our parents still, like, we didn't have to give them the phone number. They already knew the next parent number.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And when you do something down the street around the corner, you getting a whipping from that person all the way back around the corner to your house. And then your mother, your grandmother, your grandfather, your aunt, your uncle, everybody else in the house beat you. When nowadays you see these kids jumping up at their parents. Where do they do that at?
You
know
know
what I'm saying? They smoking with their parents, drinking with their parents. Where do they do that at? You know? If you cuss around, I know, I'm 38. I'll be 39 in March. I cuss in front of my mother. She smack us. You know what I'm saying? And we grown, you know? So I just don't understand what happened from then to now with what's going on with the world.
Well, when they started that child abuse law, that took the authority out of the parent hand. You know, I seen on Facebook the other day, a lady gave a kid one of them good old beatings where they had one hand and she was hitting him with that belt. And that's one of them good old whoopings when you done something. But somebody posted up that she going to jail. Why do someone have to go to jail for disciplining their child? You know, why? I mean, you know, my thing is, when I was coming up, my brother had stuck a nail in a light switch. And thank God nothing happened to him. But mama, he would have preferred the light switch than what mama put on him. You know, and that's just like you run out in the street and almost get hit by a car. And you whoop your child and let them know what that car hit you would have done to you more than what I'd have done to you. But they took that away from us today. You know what I'm saying? So, but my thing is this. Have you ever sat down with Dana to find out what Dana's issues are or what she's going through, or is it just that peer pressure?
It jumps from, at first I thought it was an issue. But then when you just gravitate to any and every little thing that happens and I mean, you know your curfew is 9 o'clock on the weekdays and 10 o'clock on the weekends, and you could text me talking about, oh, I fell asleep, or I hit a J and I fell asleep. But first of all, who are you talking to? Because I'm your mother. You know what I'm saying? And just like I told her, it's best that she slow down, because I'm at the point, okay, I know CPS, but I'm ready to kick her back out. Because it's 2 years and I see the system's not helping me. So it's either I do something or the streets is going to swallow up my daughter. Because the streets don't love none of us. You know what I'm saying? So it's either you take control or you just let the system just do whatever they want to with your child. You know, and I chose to take control. Because this time, if they say, Miss White, do you want Dayana home on the 17th and it's not nothing else that they can do with her? Then yes, I do. I'll take her. But the next time she think about walking out the door, I'm going to call the police, because she's going to need them, because I see that they're not helping me. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. Just like the first 2 times she did it, CPS came to my house. And I sat there, I welcomed the lady in with open arms. You want something to drink? She was like, no. Well, Dayana said she's being abused. Well, if I was abusing her, maybe she wouldn't have did it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying to myself. But you know you can't say that to them.
No, you can't.
But I was thinking maybe if I did, maybe if I start holding her accountable for the things that she was doing, then maybe she wouldn't have did this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's we gonna get it together.
Yeah, and I hope you do. I mean, because you know they came out with the timeout. You know what I'm saying? Timeout, get the child, stand in the corner, timeout. We always believe, even in the Bible, it speaks about don't spare the child the rod.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know,
spare the rod, spoil the child.
You know what I'm saying? But we run across this, like you said, we see so much today. Kids are raising their parents, telling them what they're gonna do, telling them what time they're gonna go home, and that's all because they took that authority out of our hands. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I will understand that some parents would tell their kids, "I don't care, go on out there." I don't know if they love them or they say, well, I'm going to let them get tough love, you know. But, you know, like I said, we truly appreciate you sharing your story with us today and coming out and telling us, because someone else need that. You know, who knows? I mean, if you decided to keep that to yourself instead of then out here supporting and helping people, then nobody would know, because you got some people that cannot stand up and tell their story. You know, I run across people who have lost kids like I lost kids, but they won't say nothing about it. They have nothing to say. They don't have a voice. So that's when we become their voice to support them and do the things, and that's what you're doing today. So we truly appreciate that you coming out doing that with us today. And at this time we're gonna go to a break, and when we come back from a break, we have another part of my news segment, and then we're gonna bring doing work back. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Everything's upbeat, parties, ball in the park, nothing but girls after dark. We chill, nobody gets ill in the place. We call the hill, but if you try 'em, that's when they will get wild. But they don't fight, they kill. That's Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West. I remember parties out in the park with the girlies, rubbing up in the dark. I was smooth till someone pulled the gun. It was over. They spoiled my fun. I was flying just like a track star dying. Nah, I ran through the backyard trying to get in my building, saying, why in the heck won't somebody kill them one day? The fellas got together, they vowed that no one would ever come in our block and terrorize us. The gangs that used to do it, now they idolize the guns. We don't like to use them unless our enemies choose them. We prefer to fight you all like a man and beat you down with our hands and body slam you at the Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West. We don't start trouble, boy, do we end it. Our time, we like to spend it snapping. Boy, do we heat up, but we'll take time out to beat up a sucker. If he wants static, beat down. Yeah, we got it good, and we'll accommodate you. Thanks to us, a lot of brothers hate to come back to this very day. Cause losing's one thing we don't play. If you're ever in a fight and you're beating one of us, break out before you get bum rushed at the Wild Wild West. 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 I'm talking about Nabby Red, Theo, Tony, and Milton, Mike, Sluggo, and Mike, Chilliam, D.O.B., Reggie B, and Sid, Dano B, Derek B, Sean B, and don't forget Big Hank, Don Ice, and Sire Rock, God bless Peter Wax, Chuck, and Pope Chop, El Dorado, George, way back in the day, had all the brothers on the hill talking this way. They say, God, have mercy, L.A., Sunshine, and my DJ, Easy Lee, are from around the way, Jock, feeling Don D, all way, but they're chillin'. Keith, KV, Steve O, Ross, and A.V., Baroni, Toski, and Hung. We fight but our hands and nobody's a pawn. Got it. Wild Wild West. 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 Wild Wild West.
Hey, welcome back
One
to the
good-
Darryl Hairston Crime Victim Foundation show. Like I said, I appreciate my speaker, Dana White Stevenson. Dana, do you have any information that you can give people who want to try to come and reach you? So I want to get that done.
Yes. On Facebook is DC Missing Kids and Children. On my number is 202-210-4539.
Can you repeat that for them?
202-210-4539. My Facebook is DC Missing Children and Kids. Or my email is dcmissingkidschildren202@gmail.com.
All right. So thank you very much, like I say, for coming out and talking to us. Also at this time, Dana, I would like to present to you the Darryl Hairston logo glass.
Thank you.
So for her coming out on the show, we're going to give her this logo glass, LD, which stands for Little Darryl. And thank her for coming out. There you go.
Thank you. I'm going to get it when we leaving out.
Okay. So like I said, right now on the second half of this show, right now, I want to, I need Rob to finish up on the news segment. what other information that we can give our audience out there today, or anyone out there that's dealing with missing children? What else can we give them?
Well, the source for this information, the website that you guys should go to, is nationalrunawaysafeline.org. It has a plethora of information that can tell you information about who's running away and the underlying reasons for running away. Let's try to do a wrap up and indicate that running away from home once decreases the likelihood that a youth will graduate from high school by 10%. Running away from home multiple times increases the likelihood of completing high school or not completing high school by 18%. 47% of runaway homeless youth indicate that conflict between them and the parents was a problem. The 50% of the children that are in shelters that are on the street reported that the parents told them that they would either leave or they would get out or not be cared for. They had thrown up their hands in a sort of hallelujah moment, and I can't handle no more. Homeless youth are also at a high risk involvement with criminal activity. So that means once you're out of the house, you're forced to do some survival things. That is eating, sleeping, where you're going to sleep, where you're going to eat. And if you don't have money and resources, and that's what makes America a capitalistic system work, you're prone for criminality. 80% of runaways and homeless girls are reported that they would have been either sexually abused and or physically abused. And 30% of runaway girls reported sexual abuse before leaving home. So that's a big problem. And it's not a conspiracy of silence, but in our society, people don't want to talk about girls and boys being abused at home, and that is the reason they run away. So a lot of times you find people who are having problematic in school. Why is he acting up? Why is he cutting up? Why is he fighting? Why is she belligerent?
Being a bully.
Something is happening at home. There was a stabbing, I think, 2 days ago at Central High School.
Yeah, Central High School.
And so
2
there
kids
are all
got stabbed.
kinds of conflicts that are going on. And childhood abuse increases youth risk for victimization on the street. So once you become abused, I heard somebody say one time that hurt people. And if a guy is a bully in school, chances are he was bullied at home.
Right.
And the person that bullied him was probably bullied. So there's a vicious cycle that goes on, and at some point there has to be some kind of intervention. All sorts of intervention in male empowerment programs. You should seek your church, synagogue. Somebody has to intervene because there are a lot of anger management issues. Young boys, listen, throughout history, boys have fought as a part of play, that aggression part. You can't do that anymore unless you get locked up. So where does all that, there used to be, you put them in football, you put them in boxing, you put them in soccer, you put them in this, you put them in that. But if kids are not active, and if they're between 13 and 17, 18, there's going to be some conflict. I mean, the physicality of what boys do. And now the largest segment, the fastest growing segment of the criminal justice system is women. Girls are now being locked up for the same crimes that boys. For about 7 years, I worked in a high school in Baltimore, and it was one time, it was touted as the only public high school in America that was inside a maximum security facility. The Senate of Maryland created a high school because there were so many boys being locked up and charged as adults. So when I first started the program in 2001, there was on an average of 125 boys in the school on any given day. And they were charged as adults, but they had not been convicted. They might stay a year and a half before they even go to trial. A guy comes in at 15, he's 17 and a half, 18 before he leaves. About a third year of the program, 35 to 40 girls in the program. So now 85 boys dropped from 125. 85 boys, but now 30 and 40 girls. They had to create a whole new wing because now girls are doing the same crimes that these young brothers are doing. They're fighting drugs. They got something in Baltimore called banking. One person will jump on, 20 people will jump on one person and stomp them to death. So, yes, and they took all of the music out of school. They took all of the extracurricular activities out of school, saying that they didn't have time. And the if you fast forward and say, what does that translate into? You have all the increase in the criminal justice system.
Right.
So at some point, we've got to deal with how do we deal with aggression. Anger management has to be considered, and it's a societal problem. No one parent, no one institution, no one church, no one school. Police can't arrest everybody and lock everybody up. It's all of our collective problems.
And then, for the activities, you have to pay. You got to pay for the shoes, the uniform. You got to put out at least $500-600, and a lot of people don't have that money.
One child,
yes.
then yes, it's a lot.
Right.
It's a lot.
That's where they need to come and plan with at least the money that they just wasting out here on nothing. They should at least put it to sports. I think that they need to put back, sex educational class, because some of these kids don't know nothing about that no more.
Correct.
Educational class, drug educational class, because they think K2 is really weed, and it's not. It's more powerful than crack and heroin, but they just don't know that because nobody is teaching them this. And then if they had life skills, they'll know being out there a week and 2 weeks with the same clothes on, that's nasty. You know what I'm saying? So if they bring back these classes and sports and stuff like that, I think it will bring down, it won't stop it. I know it won't, but it will bring down the percentage of the numbers of these kids just going to hang out because they doing it, they don't have nothing else to do.
And one of the other things that's interesting, the statistics go up in terms of when there is only one parent in the family taking care of a child, and often, more often than not, is either a mother or a grandmother taking care.
Exactly.
That's when the runaways go up. If a man is in the house, or father's in the house, that firm discipline and some semblance of stability and a regiment, then the number of runaways goes down proportionately.
And it seems as though sometimes that there need to be a parenting class. People feel like, well, why would you say that? My point is, there's a lot of people out here who have kids that didn't even have parents to raise them.
Exactly.
They was like raised, you find a single mom out there who have 3 daughters, and the oldest daughter got to take care of the youngest 2 because mama had to work, or mama doing something else in the street. And there's all types of situation that comes up where you got a single mom with no father in the house. You got, like you say, more grandmothers raise kids today.
That's right.
Than the mothers. And it just brings up a lot of issues. So right now we get ready to go back to a break. When we come back, we'll have our artists come back up and do another song. Thank you.
A time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, love is all we need. Beyond the world
Welcome back to the Darryl Hairston Crime Victim Foundation show. We have our artist back, Toga, doing work. Toga doing work, coming back to the stage for us, y'all.
Yup, yup. Yeah. So smooth. Why's you worried about what I do? Yeah. Why's you worried about what I do? Is you jealous of me? Yeah. Is you? Hey. I was looking on my page, coolin' out just fitting me a J. Going through the feed on my timeline, then I see it coming from a dude I don't know, but he follow me, talking big shit. I like whole time what the haters say. He said no matter what you wanna do, you ain't never gonna make it to the top. And now I'm just lame with the whack ass flow style. Post a code, you ain't really hot, not really hot. I started to get the posting on the spot, but the enemy is telling me to stop. Go to on his page, fat looking at the shade, and he going in on his baby mom, and he worried about me. But now I know why, cause I'm the type of hitter that he really won't be. With the hitter can't see, try and bring another hitter down on the end to a misery. It ain't really hurt me. I'ma get the cake that forever, and every day I get a little better. And I got my mindset, and you can never break that, boy, cause I know where I came from, so I know exactly where I'm headed. Stop me, boy, just forget it. It ain't too late to make an edit. You better get your life in check while you're still young, boy. Take heed, or I bet you gon' regret it. This is just a little lesson. I can't say it's a fact we won't be here one day. I can't worry about what they say. They don't know me and that I can't change. Gotta get my change. I can't say it's a fact we won't be here one day. I can't means I got no time to waste. Hey man, I can't entertain, yeah. And I know that I'm young, but I got the soul of an old man. Reason why I'm rapping on the slow jam, maybe you'll listen. And instead of riding on a hitter, you could try to learn life from a hitter. I don't claim to know it all, but what I do know is together we stand and divided we fall. You doing what the opposition wants you to do. Talk down on me so I can react, now looking vulnerable. And I'm talking using the tool, leaving you dead in the pool, full of your blood. Went down by the school, man, talking about a hell of a view. I ain't really want to do it, but a hitter gotta really do it for the time, for the point he gotta prove. Be a young hitter move, who would never taught he ain't got things to prove to a hitter under you. Tell me who got more to lose, the hitter that be talking on the net, or the hitter that be cashing in the checks, that got a kid and wife at home with a big how that right. Tell me how you want to play, gotta wake up in the AM, when it come to mine I ain't playing. Homie, do you dig what I'm saying? Your words don't even mean cause the games that you want I ain't on, I ain't even about to play it, tell you heed to what I'm saying. I can't say it's a fact we won't be here one day. I can't worry about what they say. They don't know me and that I can't change. Gotta get my change. I can't say it's a fact we won't be here one day. So that means I got no time to waste. All that hate, man, I can't entertain. Get about my. Why's you worried about what I do? Yeah. Why's you tripping on what I do? Is you jealous of me? Yeah. Is you? Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Thank y'all.
You know, where they can go to for your music and things like that.
If you want to hear Toga doing word music, you can check it out on all streaming platforms, whether it's iTunes, Spotify, Apple, whatever. And then on your title, social media is FB1 Toga doing work on Instagram and Twitter, and that's all I use.
So how long you been doing this? How long you been doing this?
I've been doing music since probably for the last 10 years. On and off, but like this year I got real, well not this year, 2017 I got real serious, so I'm back on it like forever now. So
I mean, but that's a good thing, you know. So how old are you?
28.
28. Hey,
Yeah.
you know,
So I've been
man,
doing
you
it
know-
since after high school.
Okay.
But I took a break. So 2017, I got back on it officially, like really like trying to market myself out there. So yeah.
But we truly thankful that you came out to the show.
I appreciate
also,
y'all
when it
for
comes to
having
you,
me.
we want to give you the LD logo Darryl glass, stand for Lil Darryl.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Here you go, brother.
Thank you.
God.
Thank you.
Praise God.
So like I say, to anyone out there, if you want to call in during this time, call in, you want to ask Ms. Dana White any questions, any comments you'd like to have, you can reach us at 240-719-2516, 240-719-2560. Like I said, you know, today's show was about dealing with runaway children, kids, you know, the situation what makes them run away from home, where the problems start at. You know, like I said, maybe if we start at home with a lot of these issues, maybe we won't end up into this high crime where they committing murder. You know, like the young man, 18 years old, you know, that got caught up with the murder of the young girl over there in Northeast. He had 3 bodies. He had 3 bodies on one gun. So, you know, he was only 18 years old. You know, he got robbery charges and everything. And they starting out so young, you know, destroying each other's life and hurting people, harming people like that. It's ridiculous. It is a painful thing for a parent to have to get a call about their child being shot. It's a terrible thing that a parent had to go to a morgue or go to a hospital or go to a crime scene to see their child. So maybe we start doing better at home. I'm not saying that you're not, but somewhere a child is getting caught up. And when he get caught up, he start committing crime, robbing people, taking people. You know, we go back to talking about the young man that lost his Jordan tennis shoes, $220 pair of tennis shoes, and his life was taken because somebody else feel like I need them, I want them, you know, and it's just ridiculous. So I ask you that you just really maintain, you out there that's parents raising your kids. It ain't all about abusing them that they try to say, but you want to make sure they do the right thing. You want to make sure that you give them a warning to understand this is not acceptable. You can't go through life doing these things, saying these things. Other people are not going to accept it. Go ahead, Rob.
A wise lady told me that a child comes into this earth with absolutely nothing on its mind. And somewhere between birth and conception and 11 and 12, these young boys are getting guns and they're getting used to guns and they start getting aggressive and killing people. So what are we doing between the time that they're born and the time they're introduced to their first gun? Okay. Somewhere God has to come back into the formula. We got to start going back to church. I didn't have a choice to go to church. I believed that there was a God that sat high and looked low. And maybe I was 6, but I was scared that if I did something, that somebody was watching
You
me.
grew up with that.
I grew up with that fear,
that
fear of my mama, and fear that God would punish me. And some of these young folks don't have no fear because they've never been introduced to God. So I'm not preaching today, but maybe I am. We have to inject a higher being, a higher authority into taking the desire and the fear of the Lord and the fear of taking somebody's life, that it has consequences. Because people are killing folk out here and they think nothing of it. They see it on TV, bang, bang, and next week you see them on some other episode, but in real life, that person's gone.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, but thanks, Rob. Also, I want to let you know next week is a great show, blockbuster show for me. Next week I have Chief Newsom out of D.C. here, also Chief Sawinski out of Prince George's County. I'm going to have both chiefs here on my show next week. I want you to call in. You got questions. We want to bring up the issues. Why do we as black people feel that our crime against our kids are not being taken care of? These questions can be asked. So tune in next week. Chief Newsom from D.C., and we got Chief Sawinski from PG County. So, call out. We got this going on next week. I want everybody out there that's going through anything with Prince George, just going through anything with D.C., able to call in. I don't know how much the chief can answer your question, but we want to bring them awareness of what's going on in the community and how we feel. Like I said, when I spoke about Miss Felicia Cook, she went to them. She practically did all the footwork to bring evidence to them that her grandson was missing, but they didn't see it that way. Mm-hmm. And if they may have seen it that way, then maybe something could have been done a little earlier. Yeah. But the point is, she fought. Mm-hmm. She fought as a grandmother on fire. She went out and did her own investigation. Her and her daughter, his mother, did whatever they needed to do. So next week, call in. They are here on the show. Call in. If you want to come out, come out. So we got to get ready to go to a break, and we'll be back. What we bring at the end. So let me explain to y'all what we do at the end.
Okay, yeah.
Hello.
You gotta let us know.
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Wake up, all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say.
Welcome back to the Darryl Hairston Crime Victim Foundation Show. Everybody know how I end my show. My guests, I want to thank all you for coming out, and I want to thank all of you out there for coming on, seeing it, and tuning in. So here we go, y'all. Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. Come on back to thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Whoa. Wake up, all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe they will listen to what you have to say. They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, you teach them the very best you can. The world won't get no better.
Get it down.
If we just let it be. The world won't get no better. We got a changing world, just you and me. Wake up, all the doctors, make the old people well. They're the ones who suffer and who catch all the hell. But they don't have so very long before their judgment day. So won't you make them happy before they pass away? Wake up, all the builders, time to build a new land. I know we could do it if we're all in the hand. The only thing we have to do is put it in our mind. Surely things will work out, they do it every time. Yeah. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. The world won't get no better. We gotta change the world, just you and me.
Yeah, y'all. Come on, y'all.
the world. Can't do it alone. Can't do it alone. I need some help, y'all. Can't do it alone. Can't do it alone. Yeah, yeah. Wake up, everybody.
Wake up, y'all.
Wake up, everybody. Need a little help, y'all. Yes, I do. I need a little help. Say it, boy. Need some help, y'all. Change the world from what it used to be. I'm doing it alone. Doing it alone. I need some help, y'all. Need some help, y'all. Wake up, everybody.
I need some help, y'all. Well, to him, y'all.
Get up, get up, get up, get up,
Get up. Yeah. Everybody. All right, I want to thank everybody for coming out to the Darryl Hairston Crime Victim Foundation show. Thank you. See you next week.
What you have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping.
Yeah.